Since 2017, the Italian Wine Podcast has exploded and expects to hit 6 million listens by the end of July 2023. We're celebrating this success by recognizing those who have shared the journey with us and giving them the opportunity to contribute to the ongoing success of the shows. By buying a paper copy of the Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0 or making a donation to help the ongoing running costs, members of the international Italian wine community will be given the chance to nominate future guests and even enter a prize draw to have lunch with Stevie Kim and Professor Attilio Scienza. To find out more, visit us at italianwinepodcast.com. Chin chin! Welcome to another episode of On the Road Edition, hosted by Stevie Kim. Each week, she travels to incredible wine destinations, interviewing some of the Italian wine scene's most interesting personalities, talking about wines, the foods, as well as the incredible travel destinations.
Good morning. What time is it?
It's 8:30. It's not that early, but, we a little bit of later household, but yeah, everything's good over here. It's a little gloomy. We have like our summer gloom here in San Francisco. So I'm missing the sun.
So Cynthia says chin chin, and also Michelle Erland says ciao. Ciao, Michelle. We know Michelle. And Cantina Capellin. Ciao, Cantina Capellin. So listen, tell us what you've been up to in terms of Italian Wine Podcast. Would you like to tell us like some of the guests you've had? I know you started with Angela McCrae.
Yep, definitely. So I took over from Steve in March, like Stevie said. So it's been a few months now. It feels like it's been years, but it's just been a few months.
That's what happens, right?
Yes, exactly. And really what I did with the podcast, Steve was giving so much good market insight and technical information. So I'm trying to maintain that, but also bring in some more communication and new speakers. The format with Masterclass US Wine Market is we'll start with 3 key learning objectives. I stole that from you, Stevie, and how you structure your seminar.
I love it. I love it. I love the copycats because it means it works.
Yeah. And then we end with a little mini quiz, the 3 key takeaways, just really hammering home what the key topics are. So rather than a biographical episode, I'm really trying to get the guests to talk about a specific topic. So for example, we have a podcast coming out in a couple weeks about, how to work an international trade show. So we talk specifically even about what luggage to pack and how to, avoid jet lag and those types of things with Joe Lang. He's an export director for Lang Twins, a winery here in California. Yeah, we had Angela McCrae on as our first guest. She talked about the need to reach more diverse audiences in the U.S. market as demographics change and ways in which Italian wineries can reach new audiences. We had Karen McNeil. That's
kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah.
The Wine Bible lady.
Amazing. Author of the Wine Bible. She just released the 3rd edition pretty recently. She spoke about growing up, as a wine writer in New York, and in the 80s, she was in a tasting group where she wasn't allowed to talk with 5 other men.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know. So it's pretty incredible that, that interview.
Let me remind you some of your other, since you're not a morning person. So then after Angela McCrae, you had Jermaine Stone. We love Jermaine. He's also doing a lot of new things, right? He's going to drop something new. I spoke to your dad last night.
Yeah, he's dropping a series of Tastemade in Constellation. So it'll be a food and wine travel show. So he's going to be it'll be New York, Detroit, San Francisco, Savannah, and they'll have episodes in each city. So that should be coming out in August.
But is that going to be with wine as well? Do you know?
Yeah. He's partnered with Constellation Brands, so all Constellation's wines will be, featured.
Ciao, Angela Slade. Listen, and then you had, of course, Peter Young, one of our favorites. Yep. I think he's one of the smartest dude right now in the wine industry.
He's amazing. We talked about luxury wine marketing. We talked about the trends in luxury Italian wine as well. So, he's great. He brought in a lot of business insights and stats on what's selling and what's trending. Then we had Shelley Lindgren. She's the owner of A16, a couple restaurants here in San Francisco that really champions Southern Italian wine. They've been around for decades. They're really like institutions here. So she talked about the Italian wine market in San Francisco. She's also releasing a new book on Italy this summer. So that was great. We also had Josh Wan. He's with Force Brands. It's a recruiting company. So he talked about the new generation of wine salespeople. How do you get them engaged? How do you reach them? How do you
he actually did an interview with Steve Ray. It's actually one of our most popular shows. So he's very charismatic and everything he says is so compelling. So great to have him back. And then you had Cynthia Lohr.
Cynthia, she's with J. Lohr, multi-generational family winery based in Paso. So I had her talk about communicating family ownership. She's the head of communications and marketing and everything at J. Lohr. So how do you communicate multi-generational values, since that's, for so many Italian wineries, so many family-owned wineries. So I thought she brought some interesting, insights around how her family business was organized and run.
Then you had Matthew Kainer. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, he's the new wine columnist for Men's Journal, which is a popular publication in the U.S. He's a former sommelier from Los Angeles. So he spoke about engaging the next generation of sommeliers. How do you get them? What are they looking for? He spoke a lot about, the need to introduce more esoteric, smaller producers, the interest there, but also that there is still a whole contingent that's interested in the classics. So he spoke a little bit about what somms are interested in these days. We've had...
Michelle says he's watching.
He can chime in then, but I know we talked about other things too. But
Gary Fish?
Gary Fish, the owner of Gary's Wine and Marketplace. He owns 3 retail stores in New Jersey and then one in Napa. So he talked about what's selling in Italian wine in his stores. Cesare Martini's his Italian wine buyer, actually.
Yeah, we all know Cesare.
Yeah,
Mr. Martini.
So they've expanded, their Italian investment in Italy, and I know they just were spending some time visiting some producers there. So he talked about that. We had Dan Petrosky. He is the winemaker at Massican Wines, which is a wine label here in California, but he focuses on making a lot of Italian white varietals. He makes.
I hope you can bring him to Wine to Wine. I think he's a terribly interesting person and entrepreneur, super smart, but also he exudes affability, I really want to I want to hang out with him kind of thing. So
you two might be a little dangerous together, but he's a New Yorker, you know that, right?
Yeah.
He's a New Yorker.
So I hope you can bring him over to Wine.
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local foods, and taking in the scenery. Now, back to the show.
You've had so many great guests. I love your episodes. I really, really love them. Stevie, and I don't give out free compliments, right? So you know that.
I was wondering for months. I was like, is it going okay? I don't know.
I know.
Finally, I think, got a WhatsApp from you. And I was like, okay, it's okay.
No, but I mean, it is really like a gem, right? And I feel like any producer, but anybody in the wine industry, there is an exact takeaway, and it's such a great tool for anyone who's interested in the U.S. market. It's short, right? And it's succinct and to the point, and some real great takeaways. So I highly recommend everyone to join whenever they can, and that's on every Monday at 5:30 Italian time. That's the time right now for California.
Yep.
Which is
8:30, 8:43.
Yeah, but obviously they can, they can listen anytime they want. And then after Dan and Karen, you had Ali Wolansky.
Yep, Ali's a writer. She spoke about Substack, so yet another platform out there that writers are using. So what is it? do you as a marketer need to be using it? I think the key takeaway from Allie was it's a great way to connect with writers because you can follow them and they post a lot of times what they're up to, I think it was a good one.
Are you using Substack? Are you doing it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, it's not like part of my daily repertoire. I need to be using it more.
Yeah, Ali seemed to be like very dedicated, right? I listened to that episode.
She is.
Yeah.
I subscribe to her Substack newsletter, so I get her newsletter, every day, and she'll say like, I'm writing a story about barbecue wines.
Right,
and then, I send that to the team. Like a bunch of our team gets it. So then we put together ideas for her for wines, and she writes for Forbes and USA Today and other great publications. So it's a really good way to get your wines into her coverage. So.
And then we had 4 more guests on your list. Jules Hurd.
Yeah, she was a random, meaning I didn't know her before.
Oh, wow. How did that happen?
She put a story out on Forbes about AI and how it's going to impact communications agencies. So, of course, I read that article because we're a communications agency, of course. And I reached out blindly just from her website because I thought that would be an important topic. So we spoke about AI and generative AI and what is it, what can it do, and how can it help you? And I think key takeaways from her episode were really that it's a tool. It's not going to replace us entirely, but it is going to help increase the productivity of our jobs and our roles, and something that we all need to be using and start using. So I thought that was a good one as well, really tactical too in terms of her advice.
They were all tactical. All of your episodes are very, very functional in terms of understanding the U.S. market trends. I love it. And then you had Philana Bouvier.
Yep, Philana is the president at Domain Estates. They're a relatively new importer in the U.S. market under the arm of Galen Lawrence and Carlton McCoy, who own wineries like Heights and Stony Hill and Napa, but they're the import company of that business. So they recently started importing Amazé from Tuscany, and they have a couple producers in Champagne and Rhone and Bordeaux, and they are expanding their Italian portfolio. So she spoke about what is an importer looking for right now in the U.S. market from Italy, but also she spoke a lot about what makes a successful supplier-distributor relationship. She worked in the distribution side for over 2 decades. So I thought that part of her conversation was really insightful because she has so much experience there. So that was distribution tactics.
And then you had Laura Burgess.
Yep, Laura Burgess, she spoke about copywriting. She's a writer. So she spoke about the power of words and making language more clear and succinct and direct in order to reach your target audience. So
I feel like every wine professional should listen to this, including myself. Yeah, that's really helpful, I think, for both the producer side, supplier side, but also from the communicating side. And then lastly, definitely. Emilia Aiello.
Yes, Emilia is a Italian wine ambassador.
Yes, she is. She did our edition way back in New York edition.
Yeah. In New York. Mm-hmm.
And she was working for Del Posto at the time, I think.
Oh, Del Posto. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she was with the Bastianich group at Italy. That's where I met her, actually, working at Monzo over 10 years ago in New York. And then she was at Lupa. Yeah, and she's from the Bay Area. So she's moved back here a couple of years ago. So we've reconnected and been hanging out here. So it was really fun to have her on. She started a e-commerce business called Città Vino. She focuses on
excellent. I haven't listened to Emilia's episode yet.
Yeah, she's very passionate. She speaks Italian. Her family's Italian American, like mine, but actually a mix of the North and the South is where her family's from. So she talks about why she started Città Vino, what she's doing, but also the opportunities to introduce smaller producers and Southern wines to U.S. consumers. So,
all right,
this was really good too. And then, that's everyone.
Yeah, that's everyone. So you've done already 15 episodes. That's every Monday. Hard to believe, huh?
I know.
You get to work every week because we put out every week, no holidays. Nope. So just so that we align our expectations, we work like dogs. But listen, I just wanted to, go over all of your guests. I think because every single one of them were absolutely wonderful and you're doing such a great job. So I wanted to give you a little bit of love. Are you feeling the love?
Thank you, Stevie. Yeah, a lot of love on this Wednesday morning. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate the opportunity.
And continue to the great job. And hopefully you can bring some of your guests to Wine to Wine, and maybe we can do a little bit of a deep dive and share with, of course, all of the other participants.
Yeah, that would be amazing to have some of their live. And
yeah.
Some people that we have coming up, we have Tonya Pitts. I just recorded
Tonya.
her
I've never met her in person, but I think she came actually to Vinitaly and I missed her or something.
Yes, I think she's been before.
Yeah, but
she's been in the industry for decades, so over 30 years.
Just last
so it would
one.
Be great to have her.
I think, I invited her to Upper Wine, but her flight was late or whatever, so we never got a. Angela Slate says, "Congrats, great initiative."
Thanks, Angela.
Yeah. And so, so I would love to meet her, Tonya Pitts. Who else? Who else do you have lined up?
We have Laura Diaz Munoz. She's a GM and winemaker and studying to be an MW, all three, at a smaller winery in Napa. So she's going to talk about how do you run a national brand with a small team, because she's running a nationally distributed brand with a rather lean team. And then we also have Ernie Lucent is going to be coming on as well. He's a winemaker from Germany, but he also makes wine in Oregon. So he'll talk about kind of making wine overseas and in his home country. So those are, and then I need some more guests. I have a few other names.
Listen, I have a few if you want. You know me. I can send a few.
If anyone here in the audience,
if you want to, if anyone wants to, recommend someone, please ping, Juliana or of course our staff at info, I believe, at ItalianWinePodcast.com. But you can just ping anybody or DM us. That's it. I think, I'm going to let you go and do whatever you have to do on Wednesdays. We're going to close up shop here pretty soon. And I hope to see you real soon. I'll be coming over in August as usual. So when the offices are closed.
See you in August.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. Ciao. Ciao, ragazzi.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another installment of On the Road Edition, hosted by Stevie Kim. Join her again next week for more interesting content in the Italian wine scene. You can also find us at ItalianWinePodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. You can also check out our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, to watch these interviews and the footage captured of each location. Chin chin!